Alright YouTube, welcome to Everyday Journey. Today I'm going to attempt to make a part for a lawnmower. I actually picked this lawnmower up at the scrap yard. I was taking some stuff by there and didn't get very much, but ended up getting a bicycle, actually an aluminum frame bicycle, mountain bike, and a self-propelled lawnmower. It's actually fairly new. This right here, this is the front wheels, I guess. It's self-propelled from the rear, so these are just the wheels that go in the front. But one of the problems I had with it is this thing, you adjust the deck height and adjust both the back wheels and the front wheels. Well, this thing will pivot and raise up the front end. Sadly, there was a little piece, and I'll show you in a minute, that actually goes on here, and it kind of goes in the space on the deck. They call it a split flange hex washer or something like that, that goes on here, and this actually holds the front axle or whatever to the deck. It's a plastic piece, if you can see it here. Anyway, it didn't have one on one side, so every time you lift up the front end, this axle, at least on the one side, would drop out and be all crazy. So I'm going to attempt to make another one. I've got some polyethylene plastic that I also picked up at the scrapyard. I just keep it just because it's good for little things like this. We'll see how well this makes. It's a bit thicker than what I need, if you can see this, but I'm going to attempt to well, just hone it down and make it the size and shape and everything that I need. Only issue you could see here, I used it for one other project before, and you can see this right here. This stuff is, I guess it heats up and melts real quick, real easy. So just the blade cutting through it will cause it to melt and end up with pieces all over the place. And it was a pain in the butt to actually get through it before, but I was able to do what I needed to, and hopefully I could do it here. I'm going to use, I don't know if you can see it here. I'm going to use this little, what do they call this thing? A jigsaw or a, well, I'll tell you in a second. You can see it though. I'm going to try and turn it on its lowest setting, so hopefully I won't get that melting, but I don't know, we'll see how it goes. First I'm going to trace out my piece and carve out the rough shape of it, and then go from there to attempt to hone it down and make the piece I want, because these things are only like $5 or whatever, and most of that's shipping because this is a little piece of plastic. And for one piece, for a lawnmower that I got really cheap, I don't want to spend any money on it because I may sell it, I may use it, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So we'll get into this and check it out. I'm not really sure if you can see this or not, but here's the piece I'm dealing with. You can see the top part right up here. This is a hex. This will actually fit into the deck of the mower, and this one's even worn out, so I'm pretty sure if I can make one, I could probably make two, but I think I'll probably just keep this one for the heck of it. But this right here is where the drive shaft goes right through here, and because they welded it together and everything else, you basically snap it over not the drive shaft, but the front axle. You snap it over it, and then there's a cotter pin that goes behind it, holds it in place. But this keeps it from dropping out of the deck. So first thing I'm going to do is trace out a rough circle here and get to cutting this thing. Let's see, get this back in view. There we go. Trace out a circle here. Try to anyway. This stuff can't really write on it very easily. So spin this around so I can get the circle of the other part. Okay, I couldn't say it before, but this is a scroll saw. So got it on its pretty close to its lowest setting here. Let's see if I can't cut this out and hopefully not melt it. Make sure you wear your eye protection for this. And you can see a cut through it, but the sad thing is, it kind of glued itself back. So hopefully it's still soft enough I can just break it apart. I just put it in my vise and actually just broke it. Well, not broke it, but broke it free. But yeah, it just glued itself back right here. Now I'm going to cut out the actual circle. Alright, there's what we got so far. Now I need to cut the depth. And I'm just gonna, because I don't think it matters if it's a little bit long, and I can always shave it down if I need to. So alright, getting rid of this piece here. So we're going to keep this one. I'll just put a K on it for keep. I'm going to attempt to use the coping saw here. See if I can't get a little slower cut. Maybe less melting. Alright, here's the part we're going to keep. Should be roughly the same thickness. I made it, it's pretty close to about the same. So now what I got to do is actually carve out this, cut out this hex in the top of it, and cut out the middle center hole, but I'll do the hex first. The next thing we can do, just place it on top, and I'll draw where the hex would be, you know, draw each flat, just eyeballing it, draw a mark there between the two, and use the coping saw to go from one mark to the other mark just to hold it a little better. Okay, so the next side. And roughly it's going to be from this to here. Alright, this last side for this thing I'm not even going to do because it's going to be like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark out what needs to be taken off on this. Make sure it's lined up good. I'm going to spin this a little bit and go ahead and cut out the center. I think it'd be a little easier to cut this way. Alright, there's my rough piece. I'm going to move it over here to the scroll saw and go ahead and try to make it a little bit better.